Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me in today's plan with me for the week of May 22nd to the 28th, where I will be planning in my well-being planner spread. So I'm going to embellish it, as you saw earlier, with washi tape, stickers, colorful markers. But I'm also going to discuss how creating simple daily routines in 7 areas of focus can help not only in creating balance, but also boost up your productivity and your mood. I'll also cover today tracking in other important things like your wellness, as well as scheduling in those micro breaks to avoid burning out. And of course, taking a little bit, or just a couple of minutes in the morning to just journal down how you're feeling, what your emotions are, and then that'll help you tackle the day much, much better. So in today's video, I will be setting up my well-being planner spread. So let me share with you my desk. Here we go. So I will be in my A5 Filofax Norfolk organizer, and I've got my highlighters, my pens, stickers, and washi tapes to get the pages nice and pretty as well. But like I said, more importantly, the reason why I come on here to show you my planning pages is to show how I create simple daily habits where I take some time in the morning to journal, and then also setting intentions for the day ahead so that I can stay as focused as I can and be productive throughout the day. So we all know life can get hectic and overwhelming at times, and that is why pretty much I come on here to, through my own planning, I hope those who are self-assured most times but feel a little bit lost, overwhelmed with all the stuff that's going on, use planning as a form of self-care. So you have something to focus on when your head is muddled with cloudy thoughts, and then this gives you a little bit of space and grace until you're ready to get back into the things that you're really good at. So let's quickly, if you haven't said hello yet in the chat, make sure you do, so then I know who can join me for today's plan with me. Or if you're able to just pop in and out, let me know so then I know who's here. I always love to know who's here with me today. So all items I do show or mention in today's video, I'm going to have it in the description below. So if there's anything you're interested in, check the link, check the description for the link as well. So let's just get started. Okay, so for this week, I have moved into my A5 Filofax Norfolk organizer in the color Current. Now make sure you do stick to the end, because I'll let you know how of a giveaway that I will be running on my Instagram page, but more on that later. But before I go on, please forgive my nails. I was doing my nails earlier. My LED light that cures the gel nail polish died. So then half of my one hand is done, the other not so much, but that's all right. I can hide it while I'm holding my pen. So let me just make some room. Now do let me know that the audio is all good and everything is fine. Let me see if I can. So this is the A5 Norfolk organizer in the color Current, and the great thing with this one is check out that ring mechanism. Look at that baby. That's 35mm, and as you can see, I'm even able to put in a notebook in there. So if you are studying or if you're working, you have lots of notes to take, and then also have a separate journal, then make sure that you do, have a look at this if you are wanting a much bigger ring size. So let me just show you what I think this is the other one, I'm trying to close it, 30mm ring, and the difference in that. So can see how much more room. So I'll be using the this one for the week. And like I said, this is one of the prizes that you can win in the giveaway. So let's have a look. Hi, hello, it's May. Oh, May, Simply Plans is May. Hello, May, thank you for joining me today. Planning Erin, glad I finally got to catch you live. Thank you so much for joining me. I do so appreciate it so much. Audio's good. Marcus, thank you so much. My friendly content creator. He also has a YouTube channel where he has interviews with content creators where we all sort of share our ups and downs trying to navigate this world of social media and content creation. Amanda, audio is great. Do you like the gel polish? I do like the gel polish because it does save me from going to the nail salon all the time. Hello, Elle. Thank you so much. So glad of so many of you can join me today. And I guess turning up the same time every week is a great thing because, as we said, scheduling in, things could create a better habit and better routine. Hello, Lauren. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me. And May says audio is goody. Fantastic. All right, we've got all that out of the way. Let's get right into it. So I will be today planning. I haven't planned in my I haven't shown my well-being planner for a while on here. So I thought I'm going to share it with you. So on this page, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit better. Does it let me? No, it won't let me. You know why? Because I played around with the focus earlier and now I don't know what is going on. So hopefully this you can see it nice and clear. So this is my well-being planner 2-page spread. On here I've got a 7 areas of focus habit tracker, the Wheel of Life tracker, so it's a methodology by Zig Ziglar. I've got a sleeping tracker, wellness tracker, morning journal, as well as micro breaks tracker. So before I fill in all these bits and pieces, we got to do all the fun, colorful stuff. So this is, I bought this Zebra Mild Liner fluorescent set a few weeks back, and I haven't had the chance to test it out. So let me show you, maybe this camera will help me focus a bit better. So on one end, you've got a chiseled, see the chiseled end? So you can highlight, and then on the other you've got a fine tip end. So then that way you can use one to highlight your study notes or your task and to-dos, and the other one you can do what I'm going to do today, which is embellish my page. I'm going to take this so it doesn't shine. And then just one of my go-to hand lettering style. So I'm using the fine tip end and just very quickly. So for those of you that don't have a lot of time to embellish your page, something quick and easy. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to create these horizontal lines, so change it up a bit. I actually haven't put it in the description. I will once the live is finished, but there is a video that I have where I show you 5 different hand lettering styles using, different highlighters and markers. And then that way you can embellish your page beautifully at the top. And as I always say, one of the things that help you create better habits, according to James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, which is one of the 4 laws of behavior change, is making things attractive. So the more you make things attractive, the more likely it is that you will touch it, use it, and plan in it. So make it attractive according to your aesthetic. So if you are a minimalist and you don't like rainbow colors, because I know sometimes rainbow colors can be too much for those who have sensory visual processing, where it's too much clutter or too much noise for the eyes. So just make sure to embellish your page according to your aesthetic needs. Now, one of the things, so let's see, here we go. I don't think my focus is going to focus today, maybe up to there. And let me see if I can reduce the light a bit so it's not so. Okay, not so glary. So that's great as is. But one of the things I do, grab a black pen. So this is the Pentel Energel. Will it work? Yep, Pentel Energel cleaner. I use a 0.7 millimeter refill inside because it is nice and thicker. And then I just go around each letter and each number to make that colorful lettering pop on the page. So see how that's already fine as is, but then that black ink around it just lifts up those letters and numbers. Now, let me tell you, when I do this, where I'm concentrating on outlining each letter and number, this is being mindful. This is taking time for you to just focus on something. So you can look at lettering as a type of meditation or a breathing, you know how when they say that breathing technique, because you focus on one thing and you're, if thoughts do come into your head that might be a little bit, give you anxiety, what happens when you are doing something like this will allow you to just focus on it, give your emotions a little bit of space, and then, get back into, doing the stuff that you need to do. So what do we think? So that's just simple heading. Driving and listening to you today. All right, make sure your drive's nice and safe. And so that's Elle, of course. Thank you so much. All right, so then on this page, I'm just going to embellish it with washi tape. So this is from Kmart here in Australia, but of course you can get use any washi tapes that you like that will coordinate with the colors of your markers. So I think I'm going to use this colorful sort of like confetti, paper confetti like. And so I'm just chopping everything on the floor, so then that way, and see how it's nice and colorful. It sort of matches all the colors in the fluoro zebra mild liner. And then I just do that, grab myself a little ruler, and then see, so this is a paper washi tape. So there are some tapes that might be sort of like that, more plasticky. So it is a little bit harder to rip it when using a ruler. So just be mindful, because then there are some washi tapes I'm trying to rip it, using a ruler, and then I'll wreck the whole thing. So then that is what we have. We've got the heading for the week. We've got the washi tapes. And like I said, make it simple, or make, if you want to practice your another, self-care or teaching yourself a new skill, is hand lettering techniques. I tried it many years ago when I did bullet journaling, but I always, when I try and compare mine with others, I always go, mine isn't so good. So I might get back into it and stop comparing myself to others. Okay, so now pretty, thank you so much. And all right, stopped at the moment. All right, thank you so much, everybody. All right, next, so I added the washi tapes. And then the next thing I'm going to do on this page right here is my morning journal page. And it's I've made this planner printable download, have this little faint square. So then that way, if you're like me visually, I like to have things all lined up. And if it's a little bit skewed, it irritates me. So you have a little guide there to go and put either your hand lettering dates, or what I'm going to do today is use my Carpe Diem number sticker pad. And then that way I can, it's nice and easy. Yes, Marcus, it's a lesson I've been trying to tell myself for so long. I tell it to everybody else, but sometimes taking my own advice is really difficult. But yes, only compare ourselves to and if I do that, I know that I have improved and made a lot of progress. So fantastic advice there, Marcus. I do appreciate that, my friend. Okay, so I'm going the number sticker pad. As you can see, I've used quite a bit already. and you've got different style. You've got big circles, little circles, medium circles, and outlines and bunting ones. Today I'm going to use my circle one, and I'm going to mix and match the colors, so then that way here we go. I can use whatever. So what are we? 22. Today's the 22nd. Yesterday I celebrated my husband's 50th birthday. So we took him to his favorite Korean restaurant, because all he wanted was cold beer and jalapeno creamy Korean chicken wings. And so we got him that, and he was very, very happy. So and then we also got him some Dungeons and Dragons book. So he used to play that 22, 23, 24, 25. He used to play that when he was young, and so I guess with the surgence of all these gaming things and create your own adventure things, he had books when he was young, but he thought he would never do Dungeons and Dragons again. But it's he wants to his creativeness, storytelling, he wants to go and explore that. So then that way I got him the 3 sets of Dungeons and Dragons book. Yes, happy birthday to Edward, 50. I've known him for half of my life. So and what a great half of my life it has been. So I do care and love and just appreciative of the of him, because he's supporting my full-time content creation and taking over our homeschooling of our young son. So we are a team, and we want to make sure that we work together and always chatting, making sure that the other one is feeling good and not pressured to do anything. So all right, so then we've now done the date. So in the morning, what I do, as you can see here, it's only 2 lines. I take a few minutes. So I timed it one time. It was 2 to 3 minutes. I write down how I'm feeling, why I feel that way, and then what can I do in the day that will make me feel better. So this time pretty much helps you be aware of your emotions in the moment. You can acknowledge it and then be intentional on what you can do in the day to make yourself better. So then that way you are responding to your emotions rather than reacting to it. That knee-jerk reaction sometimes is not always the best way to respond or react to, how you're feeling, because I know for me, if I'm not taking note of my emotions, I can be the cranky mum and, the angry mum and just snap at my children who probably had just said something like, "Hello, mum." And I was like, "What do you want?" So making sure that you are taking time in your morning to just take note of your feelings, why you feel that way, and what is it that you can do to make yourself feel better. Now, I find that putting this simple action step in my day may not fix the day. All right, it may not make that emotion go away, but what you can do is then you can start to take control of how your day can go. So it's really important that we take control of the day, and this, I'm still a work in progress, so I'm no expert at this, and that's why I share it with you, because when the days I do write my morning journal and know exactly why I'm feeling and then what I can do about it, it's a lot of a better day, because then I set out a plan. I'm intentional in how I'm going to respond to how I feel. So it's important to note that don't look at your emotions as good or bad. It's just a messaging system. So I always say look at it like a petrol gauge in your car, or if it's running on empty, what do? We fill it up. By knowing that it's empty, that we have to fill it up, we don't go keep driving until it breaks down and the car's no longer running. So morning journaling, only a couple of minutes each day, just allows you to be intentional and react to it a lot better. Now, it also allows you for what's in your head down on paper. And sometimes when you see it down on paper, what you think might be a big problem is only a little problem compared to everything else. So what I've been doing as well is, if I'm feeling sad or anxious, what can I do? I might take a walk later on in the day. If I am angry, I might go and talk to whoever made me angry a little bit later, and so we can talk it out and then let them know how I feel, and then that way we can both work out that how can we manage it later down the day. So let's have a look. What if you already feel great in the morning? Then what else can you do to make yourself feel better? Can you have a deja vu day? Can you do the same thing again that you did yesterday that made you feel good and do it again? So, so in the book Make Time by Jake Knapp and John Siratsky, it's called Create a Deja Vu Day. Whatever you did well yesterday, why don't you recreate it again? So fantastic question there. Marcus. Hello, Chris. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. I know I need to take control of my day. Those days that I don't do my morning journal, I actually feel like later on when I reflect back, I'm going, oh, well, I didn't do my morning journal. So then, of course, that emotion festered, because I didn't catch it. I didn't acknowledge it. I'm just thinking I just got to go through the motion and do whatever's on my task or to-do list. But then, just a couple of minutes. It's it's like the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People about, sharpening the saw. If you do sharpen the tools, acknowledge your emotions on a regular daily basis, you don't come to a point like I did, early in the February and have a big mental breakdown. And I was fortunate that I have support, but then for those that may not have full support, it's harder to get back up. So maintaining those daily acknowledgement of your emotions is a really good way to be intentional. Take control in the morning, exactly. So very important. And you convinced me to have more color in my planning. So just even like a highlighter. It doesn't have to be, fully decked out in colorful markers because this, again, does take time to do, but this is my self-care, and this is my part of my mindfulness and my looking after my well-being. So really important that we do set these sort of time and pretty things. That's why, squirrels were always like those shiny things always distract us. So pretty things do as well. Question, I was looking for your daily organizer from your newsletter but I couldn't find it. So if you go onto my website, mariannecresp.com, and then put in Make Time, so you have it in 4 different sizes. So I try and put the quote marks. I use quote marks Make Time because the methodology has been inspired by the book Make Time by Jake Knapp and John Siratsky. So hopefully, you'll be able to find it in search. So just click on the magnifying glass on the website and then type in Make Time. You're welcome, Chris. All right, so let's have a look. Let me look at my note, make sure that I have covered a simple routine that you can do in the day. Only takes 2 minutes. You can do even what they call 1 line a day or 2 lines a day. And then that way you're not pressured to write an essay and going, oh my God, this takes so long. I know how I feel. I feel crappy. I feel that, but make sure that if you did have a win in the day or the day before, write that down. I feel wonderful today because yesterday as Marcus said, what if you had a great day? So today I'm going to do that again, or I'm going to call a friend again, or I'm going to schedule another catch up with a loved one, whatever it is. So if you already have a good day, what else can you do to make it even better? All right, so question of the day, where are we? So a lot of you have already told me that you're going to try it. So who here already takes a few minutes in the morning to journal how you're feeling? Type in me in the chat or in the comments section. Like I said, I find days that I do journal helps me a lot better. The swirling, muddled thoughts in my head, allows me to put it down on paper. And like I said, if we don't acknowledge our feelings, all we're doing is we're delaying it, and it can get worse. So by tackling it in the first thing, just means that you're not afraid of your emotions, and actually having all these different emotions is a sign that you are well, because you can recognize these different emotions that are in your head. If you always just think, I'm happy all the time, those people that we think are always happy on the outside and then they're really hurting on the inside. Actually, by showing our emotions, putting our emotions on our sleeve, is that the term, allows us to go, I recognize I'm not feeling, feeling well emotionally. My heart might be broken. I might be tired. So always think, by knowing and acknowledging your emotions, it's a sign of being emotionally intelligent, because you can recognize it. So a really, really good step. So type in the comment, me, if you already do a morning journal, or if not, let me know if it's something that you are going to go and put in place. Oh, Chris, thank you so much. Oh my goodness, I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, these are all tips pretty much that I'm learning along the way. It's, I'm a work in progress, and seeing myself go through a mental breakdown, but then know that, you know what, I have the power to be able to ask for help. I'm strong to ask for help, and it's not a weakness to show my vulnerability to my husband, who I said I can't do it. I can't homeschool anymore at the moment. Showing my vulnerability to you guys, where I cry. I showed you just that everything is not as is, and the last thing we want to do is for friends and family of ours to just say, I didn't know. They just seemed they were always so happy. And if you need to talk to someone, just say, I just need to talk to someone. I don't need you to solve anything, and I know you might have your own worries, but a burden shared is a lot lighter. So just a little tip, message me on Instagram if, you just want to chat. I might not have anything to say. I might heart it, or I might go, you've got this, because I don't claim to, I don't want to go and give an advice that might not be right, but just letting someone know. Me, all right, excellent. You already journal, fantastic. You really are. Oh, Monisa, thank you so much. Only because it makes me sad to hear, used to, need to start again. It only makes me, it makes me sad to hear on the news of, people who are not close to us. But, you just go, wow, that's happening with them. And no, they weren't able to chat with someone. So journaling is you are your own advocate, right? You be there for yourself and make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror. I actually looked at myself in the mirror today when I was getting ready, and you know what I said to myself? I said, I like you. And then I thought I would be friends with you. So those little things, there's so many beautiful affirmations out there. You can do it, get up, blah. But talking kindly to yourself is such a good start, because we are our worst own enemy, and we're so mean to ourselves sometimes. Me, not how I'm feeling, but all my thoughts. Yes, that could be your journal log, your gratitude log. For me, sometimes when I have anxious, my worry log, as long as it's not in your head. Because what I've learned is that your brain actually doesn't know what's real and what's not, and that's why we get anxious, because whether we think of what might happen in the future, and then we go, oh my God, are my kids going to be safe? They're going to school. So it doesn't know what's real and what's not. So what you tell it will start to think that. So, or the other way is when you start looking for the positive things in around you, then more positive things come to light. There's one thing there where, you know how someone had said, if you buy a car, and it's, whatever the model is, suddenly you start seeing that car everywhere you go. So for us, when we first bought, when I was, I think, in my early teens, when we bought a Toyota Camry, a grey one, I started spotting, oh, that's our car, that's our car, that's our car. So what you put your mind to is what you'll start, that will start coming into your life. So before I rise, I write, it's time to rock the day and then handle things one at a time. Fantastic. That's it. And that's why we have all these to-do lists, to just one thing at a time, and time blocking, because then you just focus on the one thing. To progress, Marcus, thank you so much, my dear friend. You are you are always constantly in support. I'm so glad I have met you from across the world, across the pond. You have been an inspiration, just, going out there and doing things as we go. We may not know. I like you. Yes, I like me too, and I like you too. Oh, guys, thank you so much. Yes, we should like each other. Sometimes it's hard to even love ourselves sometimes, because we're so critical. Me, like, oh, your belly's getting a little bit bigger, or your pants are getting a little bit tighter. But I would never say that to a friend of mine. So let's be kind to ourselves. So we've had our own little therapy today, just by discussing morning journaling. 2 minutes. That's all it is. 2 lines, 1 line even. Today I feel great. Why? Because, my son did well in his report card. What is it that I can do today? I'm going to let him know how proud I am. Or today I feel really angry. Why do you feel angry? Because I could have done this a lot better, and, I've been questioning myself for so long. Well, what can you do today? Make that first step. Just do that one thing. Make that progress. So really, really important. I'm going to share this with my, and I tell I have 2 sons, and sometimes I always go, oh, lucky I don't have a girl, because I'd hate for her to hear the things I say to myself in the mirror. But then also at the same time, I go, just because I don't have girls, my boys, I want them to know that a woman's worth, whoever comes across their life, their friends, their teachers, their mothers, or their loved ones, that they can't judge them based on their looks. So it's really important that we are kind to ourselves. Thank you, Moniza. Thank you so much. This is better than therapy, isn't it? And that's where I thought, where pretty much I thought my value in showing up here on social media was to share my pretty planner pages, show my hand lettering, my stickers and my washi tapes. But really what it is, it's a community where if I just showing up and say I'm hurting, someone could go, wow, I am hurting too. And that wasn't too hard. I didn't think she was silly, or she was, a weak, or she was a failure. People have, when I shared my vulnerability, people went, you are strong for doing that. And, people will hear you. And I'm going, well, let's talk about it more often. Let's do that. All right. Okay. So let's get back to planning with me, and we'll chat more along the way. So I appreciate you guys letting me know, those that already have journal, they make morning journal as part of their morning routine. That is fantastic. And for those of you that want to start, Keep it simple. All right, so in addition to time reflection, it's important to also take what's called micro breaks. So micro breaks only 1 to 2 minutes a day, but take a few of them several times a day to avoid burning out. So it's one of 3 types of breaks you should take. The other 2 are macro, half to a full day off once a month, and meso breaks is 1 to 2 hours off a week. That was my meso, was my doing my nails. But my LED light for my gel polish died, so I might have to go and get a new one or get it repaired. So on my Wellbeing Planner page, so there's a take a break portion here. One of the things I do is, because I sit at my desk all the time, is get up every 25 minutes when I'm doing my task, put the timer on, and then get up and stretch and, like creak all those old bones. Also, I get outside, I unplug. And the other thing is the 1 minute deep breathing. So breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. So you can either put a timer on, or my son who's on the autism spectrum, one of the calming things that we do is just use your hand and just go, breathe in, hold, breathe out, and just do that using your fingers as the guide and to focus. And you know what this does? It actually, so the breathing in slows down your heart rate, and what it does is it sends a signal to your nervous system that there is no danger, because of course when your heart rate goes up, it thinks that there's a risk. And then the amygdala part of the brain where it does the fight, flight, or freeze gets triggered. And it's like, so when you're anxious, your heart rate goes up. So by breathing and then focusing on your breath allows you to put your heart rate down. It tells your nervous system that there's no danger, that there's no risk. And then you have a clearer head. You're not going to fight. You're not going to flight, or you're not going to freeze. So 1 minute deep breathing a few times a day. If you have your phone, have it on, have you done your breathing? So those little things until you get in the habit of just taking time to take some deep breaths. So, like I said, stretches, going for a walk. If you like to just read as well, taking some reading. So really important, take some breaks, and scheduled ones instead of being forced to when you're sick or you're tired. So really, really important. And then so the other things that I also track, which I'm not as good at, getting better, are my other wellness trackers. So that is eating a piece of fruit. Try not to have too much junk food. I was going to say I do have no junk food, but I'd be lying to myself if I say no junk food, because then that makes me happy. And we always say, what brings you joy, you should also do in moderation. So get outside, get a bit of sun, vitamin D, go for a walk. Of course, hydrating, making sure you're getting your 6 to 8 glasses of water. And then also getting to bed early. Now, I am guilty of not doing a lot of this, and that is why I put a wellness tracker in there, because yes, I may not do it all the time, but if it's there and I'm looking at my pretty planners that I want to touch because it's attractive and makes me, want to come back and fill it in, then the wellness tracker is a great way to prompt me. Have I eaten a piece of fruit today? Have I drank, speaking of, have I drank my 6 to 8 glasses of water? So, when you see my planner pages, it's not as often. So some of these empty days here, I was busy with a big project. So, those sort of things sometimes can get in the way. And yes, we should be taking our breaks and being mindful of our wellness more. But then we sometimes, there are things that, take higher priority. So, but your trackers allows you to come back and go, you know what, I haven't been doing that, so I better do some of those wellness things and taking breaks as well. So do as I say, not as I do. But I'm getting better with the fruit. So, you know, I put a piece of banana at my desk, so it's right there, and I eat it during my break, making sure I'm hiding my junk food and putting it really high up on the shelf so I can't reach it. So yeah, look after yourself by also making sure all the different wellness things are being taken care of. Okay, now yeah, so it'll help maintain a good balance in our life. Now, if you are getting value from this video, I would love a thumbs up. I really appreciate. And for those of you new faces and new names, thank you so much for joining me, and make sure you do subscribe and hit that bell to get notification of when I am on live or when I put up new uploads, or because, you know, as we know, social media don't show you everything all the time. Deep breathing, I practiced that today with my mum. Excellent, that's fantastic. Yeah, so these little things, you know, so our bodies and our mind are wonderful things, but sometimes it's still what they call prehistoric days. It hasn't caught up with the digital world and the industrial world. It's still very caveman days that, you know, we hunt for food. We like the you know, the closeness of our community. We want to be accepted. That's why, you know, a lot of times we do a lot of things to please others, is because we want to be part of a community, because our brain is still that caveman days that if we are not part of a community, we get, you know, chucked out and we're going to have to fend for ourselves. So it's still very, very prehistoric ways of thinking. And so we need to make sure, and because we didn't get taught, well, you know, my age group, 48, didn't get taught being emotionally intelligent and being in touch with your feelings, because it's one of these things that if you cry, it's a show of weakness. You know, don't cry, toughen up, buttercup, you know, silly little things like those, or boys will be boys, or you run like a girl. It's like, stop it, people. Let's just be nice, be kind. And deep breathing, it goes back into that nervous system and our brain telling us there's no danger, there's no risk, it's okay. Let's go have a more clarity to be able to function and be productive and lift up our mood. And that's why we do these daily habits in the morning. Okay, so yep, make sure you are liking it if you are getting value from today. Now, the other things that I do, which I, you know, as part of my goal setting or setting intentions for the day. So all this I'm going to fill up with exactly what I told you. So stretching, 1 minute deep breathing. Oh, the other thing that I do at least or try to is gratitude log. So look for that positive thing in the day. What are you grateful for? And then of course the wellness tracker, and then the sleep tracker. But this one is where I focus and create habits, daily habits, to create better balance in 7 areas of focus. So according to the Wheel of Life by Zig Ziglar, in no particular order, and if you read the Wheel of Life, some of these categories may be different, but really doing something for your mind, for your body, for your well-being and spirituality, for, you know, have family, social, so connecting with loved ones. Again, that, you know, prehistoric days of being part of a tribe, being part of a group, and having that social acceptance for your career, or if you're studying, and then of course for your finance, because finance is also important in helping you to be organized, because if you are too worried about where the next money is coming from, then it's harder to function, you know, with the other areas of your life. So, so what I do, so in this 7 areas, like I said, no particular order. The way I write it in my well-being planner is the way throughout the day. So let me just, I'm going to use my Zig Ziglar Kuretake Zig Ziglar color dot markers. So for those of you that may not know, one side is a soft cushy end and the other side is a fine tip end. Great live, got a batch record a few videos. Thank you, Chris. Talk to you again soon. Thank you so much for joining me today, and have fun batch producing your content. I'm still gonna have to try and get better doing that. I sort of still do things one at a time. So I just use my Zig Clean color dot markers as, again, color coding the visual thing. So I use green for spiritual, so I meditate. Where is the blue one? I am missing one. Okay, but blue is read or learn for 15, minimum of 15 minutes. The other one, I have to go and look at this one because the blue not being here has put me off. I don't know where, oh, here it is. Okay, so blue, so again, these color coding is just according to the way I've sort of like grouped the different things in my day-to-day. The teal or ocean is tracking my expense trackers every day. Orange is actioning my highlight or top priority of the day. Now this one, clean, I'll talk to you in a second with the cleaning. I may have to change that. Working out, so getting outside and going for a walk for 20 minutes and then connecting. So very simply, I just put meditate. Now if you are starting if you are starting to write daily habits and routines, you know, try and put a verb in there, like a doing word, so then that way it's more specific, because you need to do specific actionable steps, so physical actionable steps for you to do it a lot better, rather than just say meditate is a verb, right? So meditate for 10 minutes. I use the Headspace app that has a prompt. I put read or learn for 15 minutes minimum. Sometimes if it's like I get bored with the paragraph or the book, I just do it for 10 minutes. Read, learn for 15 minutes. So these are not, you know, set in stone. You're going to write what works best for you. Track expenses, so then I know exactly what money has come out of our account. This one is action my highlight, action today's highlight, so making sure I've made an intent. So there is a video of daily planning tips on how to schedule your day, so I talk about what highlight or top priority is when you are planning your day-to-day. Action today's highlight, and then I'll leave that for a second. So this one is get outside for a walk. So I'm hitting 2 wellness track routines, getting outside and walking. Get outside for a walk. And then this one is connect with loved ones. So I normally text, call, DM family and friends, either ones I haven't heard of, or again, those ones that we think has it all together. Go give them a call. Just we think, oh, they're all happy. They look, you know, their pictures and posts on Instagram are always happy. Sometimes those that have the biggest smile are hiding the biggest pain. So don't forget your happy friends as well. It's important that just reach out and just say hi. Hey, how's it going? You know, no other agenda. Don't try and solve things for them if that's not what they want. Just, I'm sorry you're feeling that way today. Connect with loved ones. Because we don't want to say, I didn't know. I always say, the ones that are smiling the most, are the happiest, maybe the ones that's hurting the most. So really, really important. Oh, okay. So this one sort of like for family, because we're all sort of, my husband and my young son are home for homeschooling. I'm home, and then my older son goes to high school, and then, when he comes home, we do sort of stuff together. This one I had put as a cleaning task, but I only live in a very small flat, and I just clean as I go. When I've there's nothing to really clean because we do sort of like a major clean on Saturday morning. I feel like by not having stuff on there, I feel like, oh, I haven't actioned anything and it doesn't look as good and it's not as motivating for me. So for this one, I'm going to try this week to be creative. So do an art or craft something. I can't think. My eyes are getting all watery. Do an art and crafts. I can't think anymore. Activity. That's the word I'm trying to look for. I got it. I need some sleep. I've been up very early. So there we go. So 7 areas of focus are based on Wheel of Life by Zig Ziglar. By having activities or habits in those areas will allow you to have a little bit more of a balance. So like I said, those headings earlier, you know, you can change it up. Whatever suits you. Doesn't have to be, if you're not a spiritual person, maybe make that as being mindful and just taking time to breathe or journal and making sure. So what I do is pretty much make sure that you don't have to do. It's important that you know that this doesn't have to be that you have to do everything, all of it, all of the time, each and every day for your life to be productive or be balanced. What it is so this Wheel of Life tracker, let me show you a previous one. Okay, so this I color it in based on how I did with these habits the week before. So this is based on last week. So then, as you can see, I read, I meditated, I worked out. So there's little segments per each pie. So that says that I action those things, 7 days a week. This one I action 5 days a week. So that's connecting with someone. I action my highlight 5 days of the week. I didn't clean throughout the week, only once. And then I tracked our daily expenses 4 days a week. So by looking at this doesn't mean you have to color in the wheel all of the time in full. What it does is it gives you a visual progress or visual way of going, you know what? I'm not cleaning every day. Do I need to? No, I don't. Maybe I have to change that. Again, my most recent video is looking back at your previous pages and your your routines to see if there's a pattern. So for me, I'm going to change that because having that empty all the time is not motivating for me, and it's not like cleaning is not a high priority, as in our flat is small enough for it not to get all dirty, right? So I'm going to use that for something else, like being creative, and then that way I step away from my planning, I step away from content creation and do something that's totally different, and it's another way for me to be mindful of making myself come alive with things that I do. Okay, so need to jump off. We'll find you on Instagram. Yep, make sure so I'll have the details about a giveaway there later today. So thank you so much for joining me. So where were we? We were, well, where's my other page? I think May 22nd, is that the one? All right, so we have covered creating habits in 7 areas of focus to allow you to have a better balance. By having a better balance allows you to be more productive and boost your mood, because you're not just focusing on one thing and you're not neglecting something else. So if you know that you've got a big project and you have to put your focus on that, and then you neglect your family, you neglect contacting your friends, once that's done, you need to make sure that now you go and put focus on those other areas that you may have neglected in the previous week. So see how, sometimes the wheel is not going to be always balanced, right? Because other things come at a higher priority. So just make sure it's important that you also nurture other areas that you may have neglected, throughout the month. Or if you can just do 5 days a week or 3 days a week, and you're consistently doing those habits 3 to 4 days out of the week, that is also great. So don't be harsh that you're only doing something 3 or 4 days instead of every day every week. I have learned from me now that based on looking back at my habit tracking, that Thursday and Friday my energy level goes down. So guess what I'm going to do on Thursday and Friday? I'm going to have that as my set day off the week and not have too much pressure to work, create content. So really important, have a good balance in your day. Now, do let me know in the chat or in the comment what sort of things that you do in your day that's non-negotiable, that you got to make sure that you do all the time, because if you don't, things go in disarray. So pop in the comment, what is it that is non-negotiable? So now I don't do it every day. I sometimes miss a day or two, but meditating in the morning using the Headspace app allows me to just go, well, I'm feeling anxious today. What is it that I need to do? So there's some different prompts. So whatever it is in your day that's non-negotiable, let me know in the comments section. So let's have a look. Yep. So we talked about the wheel of life, giving a bird's eye view to see exactly which areas you may have neglected. So you want to make sure that you prioritize activities or habits for those areas in the new week or in the following week. Scripture writing in the morning, that's fantastic. I have a lot of Instagram friends that do the scripture writing in the morning, and again, that is a great mental well-being, spiritual, and then it will connect you to your loved ones, reading the different scriptures that you might have for the day. So that is fantastic. Wednesday evenings is nephew time, not negotiable. Fantastic, having that time of the day or the week that you make sure that you nurture those connections with loved ones is very important. So these, even like the connect with loved ones, is a great way for me that to remind myself, have you contacted that person, or see how that person is doing. You haven't heard from them, or you haven't seen them on the Facebook, where you normally know what's happening with them. So just giving a quick text or quick DM allows you, and if they don't share what they just know that you're there, that to check up on them. So okay, now I'll fill this in with all the stuff I talked about, wellness as well as micro breaks. A little bit later today, I'll fill in. Mondays always, what I always put? I feel great, because I showed up for myself in the live and talked about my feelings to those of you who are here with me and those of you who will later join me in the replay. It's my little therapy now. Like I said, through my own planning, I hope I inspire you to do the same. To just, if you can't, you don't have the opportunity or don't feel like you're strong enough yet to share your feeling, by using planning as your form of self-care, writing it down. You don't have to have the fancy journals, the fancy planners. Get yourself a cheap exercise book or a composition book with just lines, and just write down how you're feeling. Everything in your head. Don't judge, or don't think that, I can't write that down. Put it down, because it's for your eyes only. You don't have to share these sort of things. So, yeah. But if you do want to, grab my Wellbeing Planner Pages printable download. So it is available in A5 size, Happy Planner Classic, Letter, Big Happy Planner, and there's some other different planner inserts for pocket and personal size. You can grab them there and print it at home yourself. So then that way you don't have to, draw the lines. But if you want to do bullet journaling as well, that's also a really, really great opportunity. So like I said, if you want a chance to win a Norfolk A5 Filofax planner in current, and there is also a second prize pack, so it'll be the personal size Norfolk in espresso as well. So in the 2 prize pack, you also will get a choice of getting 2 Letts of London, which is Filofax's sister company. So one prize pack is this plus your choice of 2 A5 dotted journal, and another is the Norfolk Impersonal Espresso, and then 2 choices of Let's of London journal. Head on over to Instagram. Mariane Cresp is my handle name. Make sure to follow me, and later today I'm going to have a little bit of a break. Later today I will post the giveaway and all the different terms and conditions. It is open to international followers, so make sure you keep an eye on that today, and for your chance to win one of the 2 prize pack. And so really, really important. So now if you are feeling a little bit anxious or worried, I do have a video on how to manage anxiety and worry using a worry log. Click or tap the screen that you see, or it's in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye everybody. Bye. Thank you.